Hey guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube, and man, this is the story that just won't quit. This is the only subject on my channel, and I've been on the channel here 6 years on YouTube, over 6 years, but this is the only subject that I've had to do update videos on. This will actually be my third video on the creepy clown sightings. I did my first video about a year ago, and I did my most recent video just a few weeks ago. And just since my last video now, multiple states are reporting these creepy clowns are showing up. This article right here is from NPR.org. I'm going to show you some other examples, but this is a really good article on the subject, so check this out. This may be your worst nightmare. Reports are emerging from multiple states of alarming interactions with people in clown clothing. First, residents of Greenville, South Carolina reported last month that suspicious clowns were attempting to lure children into the woods. The property manager of the Fleetwood Manor apartments, where many of the sightings happened, sent a letter to residents warning that at no time should a child be alone at night or walking in the roads or wooded areas at night. Up to this point, law enforcement officials have not uncovered any evidence, not even a prankster in a clown suit, as the Associated Press reported. Since the report in Greenville, sightings of sinister clowns have now emerged around the country. As the AP reported, people in Alabama, Georgia, Maryland, North Carolina, and now Pennsylvania have reported scary or suspicious encounters with people dressed like clowns. And here are just a few examples. At least 9 clown arrests so far in Alabama. Law enforcement has made at least 9 arrests across Alabama in little more than a week, involving threats by people identifying themselves as clowns. Most prosecutors have chosen to charge the clowns with making terroristic threats. 7, including 2 adults and 5 juveniles, face felony charges of making a terrorist threat. 1 juvenile faces a child in need of supervision charge, and the other, also a juvenile, faces a misdemeanor harassing communications charge from an incident in Rainbow City. We wanted to make an example and crack down on clown-related activity in our city, so the Rainbow City police chief. This isn't a joke. Many other police departments and sheriff's offices around the state have investigated complaints of clowns making threats on social media or jumping out and scaring someone. But investigations have either not identified suspects or are being chalked up to copycat pranks from incidents involving clowns reportedly seen in the woods in North Carolina and South Carolina several weeks ago. In the Rainbow City case, a 14-year-old juvenile was charged with misdemeanor harassing communications following a social media post that hinted at a visit to Rainbow Middle School by a clown. Police tracked down the juvenile within 1.5 hours. Also among the arrests statewide were 2 in Calhoun County. One is a 17-year-old male from Alexandria, identified on social media as Coco the Clown, who is charged with child in need of supervision. The other one is a 16-year-old juvenile from Pleasant Valley, charged with making a terroristic threat related to threats made by Billy the Clown to shoot up Sachs Middle School. Michaela Smith of Flomaton was arrested and is being held on $200,000 bond on a charge of making a terroristic threat against a specific student at a local school. 2 juveniles also face terroristic threat charges. The charges related to information the Flomaton Police Department received that was believed to be credible threats through a Facebook post regarding students at Flomaton High School. The school was put on lockdown for several hours as 30 law enforcement officials made a sweep of the campus looking for any possible threats. After an investigation, the social media account was identified as Flomo Clown and Shoota Clown. 2 juveniles also were identified in Troy related to a social media clown threat. The juveniles posted a Facebook video September 18th on the account of Clappy and Slappy the Clown. The 2 were clown costumes and masks, wielded a knife, and talked for nearly 5 minutes about, quote, coming for you in Troy, Alabama. The creepy clowns have also started showing up in Pennsylvania. Spooky clown sightings unsettle PA towns. Why we're afraid. This week, the apparent copycat clown trend arrived in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania State Police are receiving reports of, quote, clown sightings at various locations in the county. They have asked anyone who sees an individual dressed as a clown on their property or walking along county roads is asked to immediately call troopers and not interact with the person. The Huntington County clown sighting comes on the heels of similar reports in and around Pottsville, along with an especially curious clown in Cambria County. According to the Tribune Democrat newspaper, a woman reported seeing someone in a teal-colored clown outfit peeking at her through her window Monday night, police in Edensburg said. Here's another example out of Alabama. Alabama school locked down after threat of clowns showing up. So in this case, no clowns ever actually showed up, but I think this is a good example of another level of what's happening right here, and it's the spreading of fear all over the place, right? So whether this is actually a real psychological operation, or whether this is something more kind of spiritual in nature, I still think it's serving the same purpose in a lot of these cases. Again, it's just the spreading of fear, so you'll see more people kind of freaking out over this kind of a thing. There are many of these cases that are absolutely real. This is really a growing phenomenon. Been a couple of false reports here and there, but there really are some true cases of this whole thing manifesting. We have this story here from the 27th of September 2016. The clowns are in Virginia as well. Sinister clowns terrify neighborhoods across Virginia. Henrico, Virginia. Sinister-looking clowns scaring people up and down the East Coast are now being spotted in Richmond. A viewer sent NBC 12 a picture of a clown in a gray car in Petersburg. One woman reports seeing that car with two clowns inside, riding around Petersburg. The woman didn't want to be identified, but she says the car was driving erratically and one of the clowns got out of a stoplight, making his way towards her car, and she sped off. In Hopewell, 3 juveniles reported seeing a car with clowns inside near Carter G. Woodson Middle School. Police in both Petersburg and Hopewell are investigating. Early Tuesday morning in the Highland Springs area of Henrico, a trio of clowns was seen roaming around Night Drive, lurking in backyards, and even knocking on windows. Henrico police were called to the scene but didn't encounter any clowns. Investigators say they are upping patrols in the neighborhood. A worried mother near the block says children at her son's bus stop spotted a clown standing near the kids while they were waiting for the bus. "It's kind of freaking me out. I take my son back and forth to school now," said the mother, who asked not to be identified. "I don't want anything to happen to my son. It's making me paranoid for even myself." The copycat clown craze even made its way to Chesterfield. An Instagram post of a clown accompanied by a list of locations caused outcry at Tomahawk Creek Middle School. Police investigated and identified a 13-year-old boy as having created a social media account with a clown and referencing a school shooting. Here's another story, September 27th, 2016, this time in Florida. Creepy clown sightings are happening in Florida too. Next to a dirt road in Marion County, lurking behind a patch of tall grass, stood a clown with stringy orange hair and a pale white face. "We stopped to record and then he started to move, so we took off," Facebook user Caden Parmalee wrote in a video post that has now gone viral. The clown sighting in Marion County hasn't been the only eerie clown appearance in Florida. On Sunday evening, 2 clowns were seen in Palm Bay by a woman walking her dog. "I never run, but I turned and ran back to my home as fast as I can," Kelly Reynolds told Florida Today. "These clowns have got to go away." The motivation behind the clown cameos remain unclear, but police are warning residents about the dangers the trend can cause. Dressing as a clown and driving, walking, or standing in public can create a dangerous situation for you and others. Authorities have also expressed that dressing up as a clown and scaring someone could end up with someone getting shot. So it seems now that this creepy clown phenomenon started on the East Coast and has worked its way west and is actually in the Midwest now. It's in Colorado. The creepy clown phenomenon has come to Colorado. Story September 27th, 2016. Tyler Hill, the spokesman for the Weld County District Attorney's Office in Colorado, never thought he would pen a press release like the one that he put out today, with references to the film Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Ronald McDonald, and even sewer drains in Pennywise, the iconic scary clown from the Stephen King novel It. Hill's government release ran the gauntlet of American clown culture before careening to a serious alert involving local law enforcement. It turns out the so-called creepy clown phenomenon, in which people from state to state have dressed in bozo attire and terrorized their neighbors, has officially hit Colorado. Let's face it, Hollywood has ruined the happy-go-lucky clown for many. Poltergeist, Saw, Twisty, even the 1980s horror comedy Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We see now why McDonald's has slowly distanced itself from Ronald McDonald. But now it seems these scary clowns are horrifying more than just our dreams, they are disrupting our normal lives. Sinister clowns are plaguing the country. In Greensville, South Carolina, clowns were attempting to lure children into the woods. In Alabama, 7 clowns are now facing felony charges for making terroristic clown threats. In North Carolina, 1 clown wielded a machete while walking through the woods near an apartment complex. It's no joke. All these instances lead us to Greeley, where school officials and law enforcement worked overnight to put clown threats to rest. It started on Facebook. Greeley police say the post threatened a shooting on Halloween night. It quickly turned into a viral event, claiming clowns would carry out shootings at 2 Greeley schools. The case is still under investigation, but police think they've pinned it down to a 15-year-old student. Creepy clowns terrorizing Chula residents. Chula is in Mississippi. So again, we see that migration across the states. Chula, Mississippi, creepy clowns are roaming around Chula. The police chief is sending out a warning tonight that he will not tolerate anyone terrorizing people in his town. A rash of alleged creepy clown sightings has spread across the United States. Now it has hit Chula, and the chief said that it is no laughing matter. The chief has received several complaints this week of people dressed in creepy costumes scaring those who live and work in the community. "My grandkids talking about a clown," said a Chula resident. "I told them as long as I have blood running through my veins, they need not worry about being scared." Chief Hampton said he even spotted one with his own eyes, but the person ran away. "He had overalls, like the farmer overalls, and a multicolored wig," said the chief. "He ran off holding what looked like a machete of some sort." The creepy clown phenomenon is also in Kentucky. Here's a story from September 25th, 2016. Middlesboro, Kentucky man arrested for causing public alarm in clown costume. They actually caught him hiding in the woods for a really long time near some apartment complexes and watching. So here's a picture of the creepy clown that they picked up in Kentucky. He was dressed up like that, had his mask on. He was hiding out in the woods near apartment complexes at 1 o'clock in the morning when they actually caught him. It's just crazy that this is happening in so many places now. Mississippi, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania. Multiple incidents, creepy clowns walking around at night, hiding in woods, stalking people, in some cases actually engaging in criminal behavior, such as attempting to abduct children, and in others just carrying weapons such as swords, machetes, and axes in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. So many Americans, and for that case many people all around the world, have a real aversion to clowns anyway. In fact, they are considered somewhat creepy even when they're not trying to be nowadays. There's really no offense intended to those happy law-abiding clowns out there, however few there may be, but it seems as if the era of the classic clown is past, and now we're in what I would call a post-clown era in which the only clowns around seem to be scary and weird. This also goes back to my own personal theory that if this isn't some form of psychological operation, certainly I think it's a spiritual psychological operation. Perhaps this is more of a manifestation of a growing wickedness in our culture and our world all around us. And modern children don't seem to chase after clowns for their birthday parties as much as they used to, nor do they seem to dress up like clowns for Halloween anymore, unless it's a creepy one, right? Unless it's like a demonic clown. So the time of clowns as desirable entertainers, for the most part, seems to be ending. And so it seems even odder that these creeper clowns are sneaking around these towns and just causing fear. So as I said, I really believe we're in a post-clown existence. I've mentioned this subject in a lot of my videos in the past. It's the inverted world. Duality. Everything that was once good is now considered bad, and everything that was once bad is now considered good. There's literally been a flip-flop, an inversion. Everything seems to be getting turned upside down. These people seem to be acting more like little demons, little monsters. Anyway, thanks for checking out the video, folks. Take care out there, and I'll talk to you real soon.